Hi, welcome to Shrewsbury Senior News. Would like to just, and you'll notice I'm using the Shrewsbury Senior Calendar, which you ought to pick up at the Senior Center or go online and you'll be able to click on their calendar. A lot of exciting things going on. It may be summer, but there are a lot of things, exciting things going on at the Senior Center, starting with Fridays, 3 of the Fridays in July at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, The Sounds of Summer. All sorts of local young people performing songs from today and yesterday, dance or sing along, and snacks will be provided. The farmers market is also there on Wednesdays in the afternoons from 2 to 6. Great buys, great local goods. You ought to go to the Senior Center in the parking lot and check the farmers market out. On July 11th, which is a Thursday from 1 to 2, the doctor is in person with Dr. C. We're going to be talking about the importance of water and hydration. And be sure to pick up in the newsletter the doctor's writing about Lyme disease, which during the summer is even more prevalent than it is the rest of the year, although it's become a year-round problem. The Memory Cafe, of course, the Shrewsbury Men's Club continues to meet on Thursdays, and that, I am told, and I'm going to begin attending myself, is a great opportunity to meet a lot of people and learn something every Thursday. Thursday afternoons, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention July 18th from 2 to 7, there's a blood drive, also at the Senior Center. Oh, and volunteers. We would love to invite you to volunteer here with our crew doing the filming of this and some other programs. We have almost too good a time and would love to have you join us. More people mean more ideas, so please get in touch with me about that. Particularly during the summer, the Senior Center has some real needs. They're looking for senior greeters for next school year, so high school students and seniors are invited to that. Meals on Wheels, they really need some drivers to deliver meals to homebound seniors in Shrewsbury, as well as kitchen helpers for both Meals on Wheels and the food that is dispensed at the Senior Center. Lots of volunteer opportunities at the Senior Center, lots of ways to meet other people. And again, not to say it again, but we could use some more volunteers here doing filming shows here at Shrewsbury Media Connections, and would love to work with you. So lots of things to do. Go to the Senior Center, pick up a newsletter, or go check it out online, and enjoy the rest of the show. Hi, we're here today with Fire Chief Jim Vono from Shrewsbury, talk about some safety. Thank you very much. And of course, our new co-host, Andrea Castanetti.
Thanks for having me. Well,
we're having fun learning about summer safety issues, amongst other things. And this is we were talking before we went on air, it's kind of a dangerous time of year in a lot of respects. People do some less than intelligent things sometimes.
Yeah, we always say leave the fireworks to the professionals. Right. That's the state motto. Unfortunately, you have, as we were discussing right before we came on, states around us that sell all kinds of fireworks. It's not legal to bring them into Massachusetts from New Hampshire and these other states, but people do it. And
it's dangerous, let alone causing fires, and personal injury.
We actually posted a video on Shrewsbury Mass Fire Department Facebook page, and the videos of a couple with a small child that were at a family gathering, and they were lighting off small amounts of fireworks, and then they were going to do a big show later. Well, the small show that they were doing for the kids, one of the rockets landed in the pile of where all the big fireworks were, and immediately, it all burst into flames, and the woman was showing the injuries to her, and her daughter was also injured. They had burns all over their back and side, and of course the house caught on fire too, and the fire department had to come.
And even the sizzlers or whatever. Sparklers.
Yeah.
They get pretty hot, right? I mean, that was always, this is safe.
Sparklers are illegal too. What people don't realize is they burn in a range of 1,800 degrees to 3,000 degrees.
Oh,
now.
man.
What other types of issues? I mean, there's water safety, there's other kinds of safety things.
Yeah,
that you
the number
encounter a lot.
one issue for kids under 12 in summertime is drowning, honestly.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, even these little small kiddie pools, you know, a kid can, you know, fall in or fall down, and what people don't realize, it's more of a quiet event. You've heard of incidents where kids have drowned in a pool full of other kids,
Right.
because they go underwater and then they don't come up, and people don't realize it right away. It's a very quiet event where they just become submerged, and
Awful.
they breathe in, they get water in their lungs, and they almost immediately go unconscious.
What a
So,
nightmare.
yeah,
You always know
terrible.
when spring is here because you start to hear like those drownings, those first few drownings in the lakes, and
Lake
they're just out
Quinsigamond,
there.
every year we have incidents, and you
Horrible.
know, pools in town. You know, we've had tragic events in town. So.
Right. Horrible. I can't even imagine.
What other kinds of issues, and what can we suggest to people aside from being vigilant about watching their children, which they really, and being careful themselves, because adults overdo it too.
There's grilling. You know, people have their gas grills and charcoal grills and everything. One of the things that folks don't do is keep their grills a safe distance from the house. You should keep them at least 10 feet away.
I'm guilty of that. I
Yeah.
melted my siding once. I bought my first house, melted my siding. You know, I was a rookie, you know, 25 years old, and I was like, oh, that's a little too close. So
Yeah.
I'm lucky it wasn't worse, but I'll
Actually,
admit
the house I live in, the guy used to grill out in the driveway.
Okay.
And my wife and I are looking at a little disformity in a piece of the
You
siding.
melted it.
And yeah, that's where he used to grill, and it was a little too close to
Yeah.
the house.
A lot of things happen and you don't even realize it until it's happened.
Right.
That's the problem. So that's why, you know, when you luckily the good thing about social media is you can put all these things on to maybe, you know,
Yeah,
strike a
get
chord with a
people
few
to-
people. You know,
Yep.
not everybody, of course.
Yeah, we tried to put a lot of safety messages
guys are
on
great.
our Facebook page, and
Right.
you know, if you come into the fire department, we have all kinds of brochures about grilling safety and summer safety. These come from the fire marshal's
great.
office, and you know, we have all kinds of information on fire safety and fire alarms, carbon monoxide, all that.
Oh, that,
A segment you and I did a few months ago about smoke and carbon monoxide
Yep.
encouraged me to go out, and I now have the kinds of appropriate. So
That's how we
thank
do
you
it.
for that.
We do it one person at a time.
Well,
Well,
it is
there you
true.
go.
No, but it's true. You know, I'm a realtor, you know, and
Yeah.
I come in to do smoke certificates all the time. And,
Yeah.
you know, you go into some of these houses with literally no carbon monoxide detectors, no smoke detectors. It's,
and
you know,
no clue that they even needed
Nothing.
them.
I
Right.
had
Scary.
them. They were about 12, 15 years old. You
Yeah.
know, the little, and I would replace the batteries periodically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know,
well, what people do
maybe
is
not
when
if
they
it-
start to beep, they take them down because they don't want to hear the beeping and then
Right.
never replace them. And, you know, that's,
What's funny is a lot of the fires that we have, there's a good percentage of them that the people didn't have working smoke detectors, or they disabled them themselves and never,
Right.
like you say, put the batteries back in.
and something so small, you know, just take that little bit of effort to get it done. It can
Yeah.
save a life.
And you only have a few minutes with
Yeah.
the fire, you know,
Fire is
from the
scary.
time the alarm
especially
goes
now,
off.
right? With all the new furniture, and I mean that's
It's
a big
it's all
problem.
plastic, synthetic
goes up
base
like
now,
that.
so it burns not only faster but a lot hotter than wood and like cotton fiber and stuff like that.
Scary.
And you don't, you can't even buy furniture like that anymore. So everything
Right.
is all foam, which is
Right, yeah.
basically petroleum product.
Right.
So
It just ignites in a second.
Which is also a problem for firefighters.
yes,
As a
yeah.
health issue. I mean, it's
Yep. Cancer is prevalent in the fire service. We're at a much higher risk than the public. So
and that's just starting to, I think.
yeah, the last
get out
couple
there,
of
people
years,
to
there's been a lot of
understand.
new studies. You know, we actually got a grant last year to put new washing machines
I was
in the
just going to
stations.
talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
was
we're
seeing
doing
all that on the news.
I have a couple guys that are on the hazmat team here in town. One of them, Bob Youngren, he teaches
Yep.
cancer safety classes not only to our department but across the state. You know, it's a very good program, and you know, it's just about us protecting ourselves.
Right.
And guys used to come out of the fires and they were all proud to have their helmets all dirty and melted and everything, and now it's like we have to clean those or either put them all out of service and get new equipment. So
I think things that progress.
yeah,
And I know I'm an old buzzard, but I don't like progress. A lot of progress is not so good, and that's been for both people in their homes, because I
Yep.
think people look at furniture
Yeah.
and they think, well, it's wood or something like wood, and they don't
Yeah.
think about, well, it's not. And it's phony stuff now, and it burns very fast and
Yep.
very sickly. And for first responders and firefighters, it's become much more dangerous work. It was dangerous enough 30
Well, that's
years
the thing. It's not, your job is scary enough and dangerous enough that, I mean, you need to be taken care of too. We don't give enough credit to first responders.
No, that's true.
It's the things that you see, and these are regular people risking your life literally on a daily basis. It's scary.
Well, every firefighter knows there's inherent risk when they
Yeah.
take the job, and what we do is part of
But
our
the
job.
risks have gotten higher.
Yes.
It just in my lifetime, because
Yes.
just the wood, the change in furniture has
And-
become so much more
And the
significant.
construction of the
And
buildings
construction,
now
yeah.
is lightweight, a lot more synthetics. So
Right.
For apartment dwellers, keeping any sort of grill on
a deck.
a deck,
Yeah.
a small, in most apartment buildings, there's small balconies that
Yeah.
are called decks, but they're not. They're a little
No,
balcony
you're not,
above.
Right.
you're not allowed to have propane grills up on decks. And a lot of that has to do with the properties of propane. It's different than natural gas. People think they're the same because
Right.
they smell the same, but actual natural gas is lighter than air, so it drifts upward and dissipates. Propane is heavier than air, so it pools and collects below, lower levels. And if you have a grill up on a second floor, which is illegal, and the thing leaks, so you leave it on, the gas can leak down, and somebody walking by, or somebody comes out of their apartment to have a cigarette, or they want to light their grill legally.
Right.
Now that's the ignition source for the grill up above. And
I lived
I
in
can
a
imagine.
complex in Milford.
Yep.
Fortunately, not the building I was in, but another building, and that's what happened. And
Yep.
the
I can only imagine the things you've seen. I probably don't want to know half of it. So thank you for all you do, first of all. But
And before we wrap up, staff-wise,
Yep.
how are you now? I know that's been a
we
concern.
recently had town meeting, and town manager is looking to help get us up to 3 firefighters on every vehicle, because we have, or every station. We have 2 stations that only have 2 firefighters in the stations with no supervisors. So we're trying to, meet some minimum levels of staffing that would be safer all around for the community.
Sure.
And for the safety
for you guys.
of the guys.
Yeah.
So we're looking at a 2 or 3 year window to try to get this accomplished through basically more money put in the budget, and we're also
Good.
going for federal grant for 4 more firefighters, which sometime in July we should have, or August potentially, to know if we would get the 4
It's
guys or
interesting.
not.
It's such a small number.
Yeah.
When you think about it, I mean, 4. You say, well, and people 4.
Well, people
But
don't realize.
that's important.
right.
Well, it's spread out over 4 different
Right.
groups too.
Yeah.
So, like we have 4 shifts. So even if you put 4 guys on, it's not like you're
That's
Right.
right.
putting
Have
one
It's not
per
like 4
shift
shift.
on. Yeah.
It's not like 4 shift.
Well, on behalf of all of us, obviously, thank you guys for all you do, and
Yeah.
hopefully
You're
this summer
welcome.
goes
You're welcome.
uneventful and safe.
Exactly.
Absolutely. We'll have you back in a couple of months and talk about what people shouldn't do around the holidays.
Talk
Right.
about all the bad things that happened all summer.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you very
Perfect.
much.
Thanks
All
for
right,
coming
thank
in.
you.
And we'll be right back. Hi, I'm here today with our new co-host, Andrea Castanetti. Thank you for joining us. And Andrea is going to be a part of our shows, and looking forward to that. And our guest is Pat Babin from the Shrewsbury Senior Center. So thank you for coming, and we wanted to talk to you about transportation.
Oh,
Definitely.
Good.
So for people that aren't familiar with the Senior Center and transportation and how to get there, can you tell us a little bit more about it?
the demand over the past couple of years has grown so much. We've got, I believe it's about a 22% population of senior citizens.
Wow.
And a lot of people are finding that it's such a convenience, and it's on days that the weather is not so great and the roads are horrible. They don't want to drive, but they still want to get out of the house and get to the things that they want to do. Some of the things that we offer, most of the things we dedicate the transportation to is to medical, your medical appointments. They come first. After that, we do shopping trips, which is basically Thursdays and Fridays. We offer special trips once a month to either to area
that's good.
malls or Walmart or down to White City. We'll take you to your beauty salon if you want to get your hair done. We've done
great.
things like that. We'll even gone to taking people down to the movies. I mean, if they have a group of them that want to go, as long as we have the space and the time that doesn't interfere, like I said, with the medical, then we'll offer trips to other places.
It's amazing.
Oh, it is.
And it's giving them independence back.
Oh, it does.
You know, I mean, you think about when you get to that age where you can't really drive consistently, you know, being stuck in your house is, you know, definitely, this is a huge benefit to the town.
Oh, it does, and it gives people an opportunity to get out and to meet their neighbors.
Right.
You know, people maybe, I had a lady get on the bus back when I was driving the van. She hadn't seen some of these people for years.
Right.
And it was like old home week. They were all the way down to their trip, and even on the way back, they were all, you know, chattering and then reconnecting.
That's
So
great.
it gives them an opportunity to do that and take
So
some of the weight
important.
off the families.
Definitely.
Yeah,
And it's a van, a bus van. What is it that you primarily utilize for the transportation?
actually, it's a 12-passenger van, the one that we have right now, and it accommodates wheelchairs. I mean, we are definitely amenable to people that have handicaps, and we offer. It has a lift on the back for those people who can't go up the stairs. Some people say, "Well, I can't do stairs on a bus." Oh, that's no problem.
Right.
We put the lift down, and with a walker or with the assistance of the driver, we'll get them into the bus and into
great.
a seat, and off they go. So we accommodate a lot of different things.
So important.
And,
Oh, it
and
is.
you also are able to assist people with developmental disabilities because of the way the contract runs with the town, or the regulations run with the town. So you're
Right.
able to also help people with developmental disabilities and do the
Oh, we
same
do.
kind of things?
A lot of, they fall under the ADA, American Disabilities Act, and we do transport them to their jobs. A lot of them have part-time jobs that they need to get to, and that their families can't accommodate that. So we get them to and from their places of employment.
Oh, wow.
Amazing.
Okay, that is amazing.
Now, you said it holds 12 people.
It does, and that's only if we don't have a wheelchair. If we have wheelchairs, then we lose 2 seats because we have to accommodate for the wheelchair.
And you have outings, is it, what did you say, once a month?
Usually, yes.
That's great. Something to look forward to.
Walmart's coming up, so
Okay.
they better book the trip
I
fast.
said, do you usually get booked with all 12?
Oh, the minute the newsletter goes out,
That's cute.
the calls start the next day.
So
It's-
great.
Yeah. It's
And all you
wonderful.
need is a 2-day notice for medical appointments and things like that,
Oh, exactly.
which is great.
Well, it helps because the need, and we've
Yeah.
just accommodated so many more people, and the word's gotten out that the van usage is just growing. We're expecting a new van within,
Oh.
I believe, next week.
Oh, great.
And hopefully that'll give us a 4th van, which
Oh, okay,
we
you
could
have that
use
many.
very
Oh,
much.
wow.
Yeah.
So you have more than one van, so you have 4? You hopefully will have 4?
Actually, the town will own 2,
Okay.
including the new van, but the WRTA accommodates us by giving us 2 vans.
That's great.
They service those 2 vans, and because they feel we're doing their job.
Sure.
They would, otherwise they'd have to
Exactly.
leave the city, come out to Shrewsbury to transport to Worcester.
Right. And when you think of how important that is, you know, family members are helping taking care of their elderly parents, but they have jobs and families as well. And, you know, instead of a parent being cooped up inside all day long, this is such a huge benefit to the town and such
Oh,
a
yeah.
necessity.
We bring them up to the senior center too. We've got
Great.
people that come up and spend the day, they have lunch, they go to classes, they intermingle with other seniors, and it's really good for them.
Definitely.
Sure, and then you can bring people to library, to the Y, so it's within town, and then to Worcester?
We go to Worcester, Northborough,
Oh.
Westborough, as well as the town of Shrewsbury.
Wow.
Okay.
And you also drive, you were telling us.
That's how I started with the senior center. After
Okay.
I retired, I was offered a job to drive the van, and after giving it a go, I was there doing that for 5 years.
Yeah, great.
So a job came up inside, and that's where I've moved inside, but I'll drive if there's a need.
Awesome. And the senior center is open 7 days a week?
No,
Okay.
only the 5,
Okay.
Monday through Friday. We're open at 8 in the morning till 4:30. We usually start the van service after 8. Between 8 and 9 is a really high volume time
Okay.
because we're getting all those people to work.
Right.
So usually we ask if people to kind of stay away from that and book after, times after that 9 o'clock.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
And how many people are at the senior center, like on a daily basis?
Oh, you're talking about staff members?
Members.
Or just members?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it depends upon the day and time. Thursdays are a heavy volume day because of the men's club, which is
Oh.
very popular, that they get anywhere from 80 to 100 people.
Do they really?
Oh gosh, yes.
That's amazing.
And we've had concerts, we've got a memory cafe, which is growing in leaps and bounds.
Incredible.
Yeah, they've expanded their repertoire of programming so much.
That's a great program. Mary Gerber?
She has one, yes.
She's been here and talked about that. It sounds like a wonderful, wonderful program for,
Yeah.
in particular for caregivers, care
Oh, yeah.
providers.
Well, they started in a small room, and now they've just let us know this week we're going to have to go into a bigger room.
Wow.
So it's really taking off, and I'm glad.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And for people that don't know, is there a cost for being transported?
It's around town. It's $1.50
Okay.
each way.
Yep.
And in the city, it would be $1.75 to go to Worcester, and
Okay.
$2 for Westboro.
That's great.
So
So
it's-
minimal fees, obviously you have to
Yeah.
pay for gas and things like that, but great.
Oh, that's super. I'm surprised in some ways that you're able to bring people to workplaces. And it's not just back and forth, which would have been my inclination.
Yeah.
All right, I knew you did medical runs, and that's a huge thing, especially if you're going into Worcester for a doctor.
Oh, yeah.
But to be able to count on transportation to and from a workplace in town.
Right.
Or,
Or a hairdresser.
Or a
I would think there would be
hairdresser.
one route and people could get off, but it's great to know that you can make individual, special trips to places. It's amazing.
Yeah, if we can accommodate it. Like I said, if a medical came up first,
course.
then the other, even though we hate to do it, we might have to tell them to put it off to another day.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Because that's the primary goal of the transportation, is to
Right.
make sure that people get to where they medically need to go.
Yeah,
So great.
But
that makes sense too.
and we
That's a
take.
great service.
Oh, we do.
really
We can accommodate wheelchairs, walkers, like I said, people with disabilities. All of the drivers are all first aid, first responder trained, CPR trained. So you're driving with very competent people,
Right, you're safe.
and we have to go through wheelchair training, which we're doing again tomorrow.
Okay.
So there are certain ways to lock down certain equipment. So you have to know all of that.
Absolutely. It's important.
Oh.
That's great. A great service that I don't think a lot of people really understand that
At all.
is provided by the senior center.
It's good to know that, especially when you
Yeah.
have, elderly family members or friends that, that are going through this. It's just another great resource that Shrewsbury has. So we're lucky to have it.
That's
Oh
great.
yeah, especially people have to go like to physical therapy.
Right.
That's and they have to go 2 or 3 times a week. I mean,
Right.
that's quite
That's
a
an
lot for a
undertaking.
family
Of
if
course.
if you've got workers,
Right.
people that are working. So this helps, and it keeps the people independent.
Right. Well, that's the biggest thing. I mean, you think of an elderly parent being in the house, 24/7 with no other social interaction. I mean, it's so
Yeah.
important, and you guys have so many programs. I've been to the senior center a few times. Every time I go, these people are so amazing. Everyone's happy. They're playing cards and chatting away. It's just a great place to be.
Oh, yeah.
I've definitely done a few blood drives there too.
Oh, the card people are very serious about
They are.
their cards. Oh,
Yeah, I remember at a holiday I brought cookies down and they did not want to be interrupted because they were in the middle of their card game.
Oh,
So
yeah.
good for them.
and they
Keeps
meet
their
every
mind
week.
sharp.
Every week.
Yeah. Good
So
for them.
it's growing, and they're always changing the programming
Right.
to accommodate the different levels of people that are coming in.
Right.
Right now,
Figured it all.
we're working on something else with Sharon. It came up last week. We had some people called to make a bus trip,
Yep.
and their command of the English language was very limited.
Okay.
So I talked to Sharon. She said, have you talked to the library? They have an English class.
Oh.
So I reached out to Ellen, and apparently we're trying to connect with some of the people there who are trying to learn English that
wow.
could practice that English language by utilizing their language to help them and then
Sure.
communicate to
Great.
us.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
we're working on, it's good.
Yeah, it's good to
It's
be
a good
creative
connection.
and find.
I love all the town programs
Connections,
working
yeah.
with each other.
Absolutely.
It's good. So those are the kinds of things that are just starting and that we're always changing and evolving.
Yeah.
So check out the senior center. That's one of
Absolutely.
that's one of the messages here.
Yep.
And this is great. It's good to learn exactly
That's
what kinds of transportation alternatives are available to people in Shrewsbury.
Oh, it's good.
Great
It's-
information.
Oh, it's,
We'll
well,
pass it along, definitely.
Call us anytime, 841-8640, and let us know if there's something that you need. I mean, there's so many programs ongoing. We have so many referral services that we can get people to.
That's great.
So it's a big part of what we do.
Perfect.
Great.
So
Well, thank you again for coming. And thank you for
course.
joining our team here.
Very excited.
And we'll be back soon. Hoping that we treat everybody today with respect, tolerance, and kindness. Thanks for joining us. Till next time.